Linking is making sure words are connected together without taking extra breaths of air in between. We're going to use all of the different types of linking we've learned in all the lessons up till now in this next story. So I'm sitting in class and the teacher says, "Class, today we're going to talk about tenses." For example, if I say, "I am beautiful," what tense is it in? I answer, "Well, it's obviously the past tense." The class laughed out loud for more than a minute. So I'm. Use a W to connect so and I. So I'm. So I'm. Sitting in class. You have an NG linking to a vowel, so it'll sound like ngin. Sitting in. Sitting in. Sitting in class and the teacher. I still want to link class to and it'll sound like classin as I reduce and to in. So I'm sitting in class and the teacher says, "Class, today we are going to talk about tenses." We could say, "Class, today we're going to talk about," and make the "we are" really fast, like just were. Or we could make it a little slower and say "we are," where we connect we and are with a Y. Class, today we are going to talk about tenses. Class, today we are going to talk about tenses. When you say talk about, you want to hold the K, talk, and let out a G. Talk about. Class, today we are going to talk about tenses. About and tenses both share a T, so just make it a held T and release on T. About tenses. Class, today we are going to talk about tenses. Class, today we are going to talk about tenses. For example, make a strong R in between for and example. You're linking ER to another vowel here. For example, if I say, I want to link the F and if to the I. If I. So it sounds like fi. If I say, "I am beautiful," of course I could make a contraction and say "I'm beautiful," or say "I am" and link it with a Y. If I say "I am beautiful," what tense is it in? What tense is it in? What tense shares a T? Hold the first T, release on the second. What tense? What tense? Is it in is a lot of function words strung together really quickly. They're all linked together. Tense is it in? Tense is it in? Between tense and is, you'll have sis. Tenses. Between is and it, you'll have zit. Tense is it. Tense is it. And between it and in, you'll have a fast D. So it'll be zidin, zidin. What tense is it in? What tense is it in? I answer. Link those words together with a Y. I answer. Well, it's obviously. Well and it link together, consonant to vowel. So you'll end up saying lits, wellits. And S links to obviously, sobviously. Well, it's obviously the past tense. Past tense, of course, has 3 consonants in a row where we can remove the T after an S. Past tense. That's the punchline. The speaker is saying that the teacher looks old. The class laughed out loud. Now, laughed would end in a T as its past tense, but when we link it to a vowel, it'll sound like a D, a fast D. laughed out, laughed out. The class laughed out loud. The class laughed out loud. The class laughed out loud for more than a minute. Link than and so that it sounds like thana. More than a minute. More than a minute. I didn't discuss all of the linking. It's too much to handle all at once, so let's go back and hit the words I didn't talk about. So I'm sitting. Between I'm and sitting, you want to hold the M until you get to the S. So I'm sitting. So I'm sitting. So I'm sitting in class. You want to hold the in and in all the way till you get to class. In class. So I'm sitting in class. And the teacher. Instead of and, I'll probably just say in. And so you'll hold that in all the way to the TH in the. In the. I'm sitting in class and the teacher says. Teacher says needs you to hold the R till you get to the S in says. Teacher says. Teacher says. Class, today we are going to talk about. I could say going to talk, or I could say gonna talk, or going to talk. Depends on how fast you want to say that. Today we are going to talk. Going to. Going to. I'm linking the NG in going to the D, which I'm using instead of to. I'm saying da. Going to. Going to. Class, today we are going to talk about. Class, today we are going to talk about tenses. For example, if I say I am beautiful, again, you want to link the M to beautiful. M beautiful. Hold that M. Use your nose. M beautiful. What tense is it in? I answer. Well, it's obviously the past tense. The class laughed out loud. Between class and laughed, you want to hold the S. Class laughed. The class laughed out loud. Hold the T in out. Out loud. The class laughed out loud. The class laughed out loud for more than a minute. Make sure you link for to more by holding the R. For more. For more. For more than a minute. So I'm sitting in class and the teacher says, class, today we are going to talk about tenses. For example, if I say, I am beautiful, what tense is it in? I answer, well, it's obviously the past tense. The class laughed out loud for more than a minute. Practice this story and the other sentences in this lesson with my repetition audio. Practice makes perfect.